From Significant, this is Crack It in an Hour.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Crack It in an Hour. I'm Simon. You can introduce yourselves. You can say your names if you want.
Go Biz.
Oh my God.
Off to a strong start. I'm Maria.
Yeah. I'm Biz.
We got Maria and Biz
Let's
joining
go.
us, two fellow co-workers at Significant. This is amazing. We are psyched. And today I have the problem to crack. I should probably do the intro first. For those of you who know us, one problem, once a week, 1 hour to crack it. I'm going to start the timer. I'm going to do a bit of everything today. I feel like I'm going to really go above and beyond for you guys.
Amazing.
So with that said, let's do this. Here we go. I'm going to start 1 hour. Clock has started, and I have the problem. Okay, so if you've been listening to this a lot lately, there's kind of a theme I'm starting to notice in the problems that I'm bringing, and this is more of the same, which is I think there's a lack of joy in life right now, and I'm trying to find ways that people can just enjoy things a little bit more. So I had one about how do we make the world a funnier place, and this sort of like falls kind of into that bucket too, which is I want to make us enjoy our birthday more. How do we make birthdays a bigger part of culture? How do we make birthdays something we get back to really celebrating? I mean, I can bring up some stats. The stats aren't so much surprising as just sort of confirming kind of what you expect. But the idea basically of it is that birthdays are still a big deal. But there's this kind of funny thing that happens as you get older, you celebrate them less, but your expectation of them still kind of remains. People are generally disappointed in other people's response to their birthday, which is funny because everyone also has this awkward thing of not trying to ask too much of their birthday. So it's this kind of weird duality of you're like, well, I don't want to do anything for my birthday. But then when everyone listens to you on that, you're like, that sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a real the effort of asking to do something for your birthday has almost been stigmatized, that like they don't want to actually ask for it because they feel like it is a little bit lame or pathetic or you look a little desperate. So there's some interesting kind of data around that. One interesting thing too is that women are more pro birthday than men. Men tend to want to bury it more. Surprise birthday parties are generally a really divisive kind of topic. Some people love them, but a lot of people hate them. But overall, look, I don't think I don't have like data where I'm like, here's the problem, here's the nugget of truth or anything like that. It's more just like, I think in our culture, frankly, we don't celebrate birthdays as much as you get older. And I'm starting to wonder, how do we start doing that? How do we make that more of a thing in culture?
I love that. I was out last night celebrating one of my best friend's birthdays. So this means a lot. As an only child, I love birthdays. And I feel like my birthday is really important. And I feel like as I get older, I'm like, do other people feel like my birthday is important? No, not at all. So like, I absolutely recognize this. I think there's a bit of the older you get, the more you're right. You feel a little bit like ashamed or embarrassed. And like, why do you feel embarrassed
I don't know.
to be celebrated? Right?
Yeah.
Or to be asked to be celebrated. And so then I don't want to do anything for my birthday, but then that raises the expectation around like how you are expecting others to respond or to how you want others to then show up for your birthday. It's this weird sort of dichotomy. Yeah.
It's very interesting because like it's great to be talking to you about this because I'm actually kind of the opposite where I've never made a big deal out of my birthday, but I wonder, like, here's the thing as I get older, which is I'm like, I never made a big thing out of my birthday, probably because of I don't want to look desperate sort of thing, too cool for school. But now as I get older, I'm like, it's just a great excuse to party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like don't take you out of it.
Totally.
Like a great birthday doesn't need to be like fawn over me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like feed me
Everyone go
grapes. Like it's
around. Why do you
yeah,
love me?
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It just
It's
needs to be
um
like, let's party.
Yeah.
yeah, and a moment to get the people that you love, like to get people together, right?
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
Sorry, Biz.
No. I'm just thinking. I have like so many thoughts right now. I feel like it, to your point, you guys are talking about, it is either one or the other. You're either like totally
Yeah.
everything, like a whole birthday
Yeah.
week. You know those people that like literally it's like
Oh yeah.
you go, it's like party on the actual
Oh yeah.
day, and then it's like brunch the next day, and then 3 days later they're like trying to invite you for the next thing. And then, but the other side is like, yeah, you're so embarrassed. But the other thing that I'm thinking about is like, I feel like sometimes people have a difficult time letting other people love them and see them. And I think that like
Mm.
that's like there's a lot of shame. It's funny because we're like such an individualistic culture, but then there's a lot of shame of actually letting people see you, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a bit of a thing when you talk about like celebrating yourself or inviting people to celebrate you, is like you have to be okay with letting people love you. And I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Like you're almost just protecting yourself from being disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It's a
know?
vulnerability, I think, to like let people
Yeah.
celebrate you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if it is just
Yeah.
like
Do you,
a party, you know what I mean?
why does that change? Like I like the why does that change with age? And the one thing I can think of is when you're younger, a birthday party is more external. Like your parents are throwing it for you.
Mhm.
Whereas once you get older and like, you know, you're living out on your own or whatever,
Yeah.
unless you have a partner who's really kind of into that sort of thing, I think generally speaking, you need to be the momentum for
Mhm.
Yeah.
making that thing happen. And this is actually an interesting thing as I'm talking this out with all of you, is that if there's one thing I've noticed as I've, you know, lived, is a lot of people are good at joining a party. Fewer are good at starting a party.
Totally.
Hmm.
Being the
Yeah.
initiator.
Oh. Yeah. That's interesting. Well, I think so. But to your question on like why has it gotten worse with age? I wonder if it's age or if it's sort of tied to social media. Also, social media like
Mhm.
making celebrations more visible,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
like it's like the birthday dump, and you have the 10 tile Instagram that shows
Mhm.
like everything and someone you did to celebrate your birthday and all of the people who showed up, and
Yeah.
it's you're a bit more
It's
exposed. So I think that's
Mhm.
added to it.
there's something very interesting. There was like some stats about that, like which is like the like you know how like I'm not on Facebook, but people on Facebook like I think they say it's your birthday, and this weird thing happens every time it's my birthday, which is like I get an email from Facebook that's like you got 60 messages today, and it's
Yeah.
all like happy birthday Simon, happy birthday Simon,
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
birthday Simon. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. It's terrible. I remember being in high school and
Mhm.
I'll admit this, being, it's your birthday and you're like counting how many birthdays you got. Happy birthday, exclamation mark. And it's awful. It's almost like a measure of your like worth on your
Totally.
birthday. And you're a
Yeah.
teenager. Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyways, it's
I
a
feel
bigger
like
problem to crack.
the new version of that is like the partyfuls. I don't know if that's like in your
Yeah.
guys'
Yeah.
sphere at all, but like
Yeah.
partyfuls now have this like weird posturing pressure around them where it's like, is it enough of a vibe? And then are
Yeah.
there enough people coming? And then the people that are coming, is it like curated enough? And it creates its own weird environment where
Oh
like
God.
every time I get a party full, I'm like, actually decline. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
like, I don't like, if I'm there, I'm there, but like I don't want to play in this like whatever this like weird uh like social circle is of posturing. But yeah, I don't
Yeah.
I
Biz,
think it's just
have you ever made a big deal out of your own birthday?
no, I have not. But I have have had times where I wish I did, if that makes sense. I'm not like a huge birthday person, but I also like, you know, I think it's interesting you bring up like only child versus like being one of many kids, because it's just a different experience, I think. But yeah, I don't know. But I really like going to other people's birthday parties. I do. Like, I do really like celebrating people. And to your point, Simon, it's fun to just like get fucked up and be like, you're 32, you know? It's like, it's so fun. Like, I don't know, like, and it gets really wrapped up though, to your point, Maria, and like self-worth and like validation and all these things. And I think even people, like there's a societal shame too of like men in particular celebrating their birthday. Robbie Hoffman, that comedian, has this like great skit on it of like, she's making fun of men, but she's like, if a grown man calls me to go to his birthday party, I'm gonna be like, absolutely not. Like, you are a grown man. Like, you're not, like, you know, and like, I just like, I think that's kind of interesting with like age and masculinity too, that like celebrating yourself is deemed like, I don't know, like immature or like feminine or something.
Well, it's like it's two things. It's like there's two real like you're walking a tightrope, and like the two sides of it are like one is like that thing of like, is this not seen as masculine? And then the other thing is this like hyper masculine like chest beating? You know what I mean? Like, look how great I am, sort of thing, which is interesting. Maria, have you ever thrown your own birthday?
Absolutely. I
love
have. But like as early as last year, but it's always, and I'm not embarrassed saying that, because it's always an excuse just to get people together. And it's just like having a ton of people at our place, and it's never felt like this performative or, you know, like attention seeking. It's this moment. And it also, I'm a Capricorn. My birthday's at the beginning of January, right after the new year, I live in New York. It's fucking freezing in January. No one wants to do anything. And so it's like the best excuse for this at the start of the year for everyone to do something. And so, you know, I haven't felt that level of shame around it. But I think that we're talking about celebration in like one form, and like celebrating yourself around your birthday through like a social gathering. I think that there's, you know, like buying yourself something, going on a trip, I don't know, putting on like a different outfit. I think there's other ways to like find joy around your birthday that maybe don't carry that same like societal pressure and or shame that we're sort of circling around.
Yeah.
Okay. If we agree, there's a shame to it. What are the ways we can kind of start to address that? Or what are ways that we can kind of start, you know, let's pretend, again, like the rule of Crack It is always like, we're allowed to play God here a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we can bend people's free will, but I think if we want to start kind of assuming we need, bad example, we need a $40 billion campaign to change people's minds, we can do that. Let's assume.
Well, some people say that free will doesn't exist, but that's for a different podcast.
Here we go.
I know. Sorry. I think there's something interesting maybe about adding more objective ritual to birthdays. Does that make sense? Like,
yes, it does.
Like around other holidays, there's like more sort of like cultural rituals, traditions, structure of how you would approach that holiday that make it less about like you and your family or like an individual, and it's more like, well, we all just do this thing. We all buy a tree, or we all, whatever it is. And I think there's some of that around the birthday, right? There's like the candles and the birthday cake. But like, could you insert more like cultural tradition around it so it's less like about you and it's more, this is just a thing you do on anyone's birthday, is like my first thought, you know? I think it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. It's like the Christmas tree, right? Like the Christmas tree it's a tree with decorations on it, but it's also like sort of a gathering point and frankly, like a starting point for the season of when you start decorating it. That sort of like makes it communal and less, I like your idea of the objective thing, because then you pull away. I think we have a weird tension in this world right now where like people have a really weird relationship with personal attention.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know
Totally.
how to explain it. And I'm sure someone far smarter than me could, but like to your point, Maria, I think like on social media, we crave validation, but then in person, we're very weird about it. And I can't put my finger on as to why.
Yeah. And no, it's true. And Biz, your point on rituals is so interesting because like the rituals around a birthday are all incredibly like self-centered about like bringing a present for someone, having a cake that everyone sits around and blows out for like the candles for that person. Like, what are the new sort of rituals that we could create on a birthday? Like, I don't know. Is it a dinner party? Is it always a dinner that is a sort of like a shared meal of some form, right? Is that sort of what you're getting at? Because if I love that, the thought of just creating new rituals for a birthday.
Well, I like what you're saying about like making them almost in a weird way less about like pleasing that individual person, and it's more about the initiation of age into a new year, and like and because I think that just it adds like a weird pressure, right? Of like you need to like please this person, make sure they're having a good time, make sure they like their gift, and then it feeds into that pressure that the birthday person has, right? Which is like, am I having a good time? Do these people love me? Am I worthy of this attention?
Yeah.
And it's nice to just make it more like still very meaningful, but more about like initiation, coming of age, a new year, and I don't know, maybe it's in some ways it's less about like the actual, like I guess we do have many like rituals around how to celebrate a birthday, but maybe it's asserting a different meaning to it, a different symbolism of why you're celebrating. Maybe it's less about like
I love
that person and more about like their body through time. Sorry. But
wow.
I love
I
it.
love that. Can I give you two?
I didn't even microdose this morning. I don't know. Like,
I'm buying it. That's good.
I had like an experience recently that wasn't a birthday I was attending, but I was like, oh, that's awesome. Where I was out at the park with a bunch of friends and friends in my family, and we were hanging out, and we just saw these people like all walking around dressed up in this big park, dressed up in all sorts of different outfits, sort of thing. And we asked someone, we're like, what's going on? And they're like, it's this guy. He throws up his birthday party every year. He does a scavenger hunt. And there's like about now, it's at a point where there's 150 people invited. It goes around the city, and we're like in this park right now at the moment. And then it all ends at a bar, and we all just go rage in a bar. And I was like, that's awesome, because what I love there is it's almost like reframing the birthday party, right? Which is like, okay, all of these people, it's my birthday, it's my day. But rather than I want everyone to like laud me and talk about how great I am, I just want to do something awesome for my friends that creates a big, awesome event. You know what I mean? And I kind of like, and I was like, that's an interesting way of like, I don't know if enough people have frankly, like the creativity and organizational skill to pull something that grand off. But that idea of like, you know what, dudes, like, I really think we should all just do this thing. And I'm going to use my birthday as the card to pull out to make us do this thing is kind of like an interesting. And there's like another thought that comes to mind. It's like the one time in my adult life, I did have a big birthday, and it was my 30th. And basically this is very bro-y, but like basically it started with me and my friend really wasted. And he was like, I was like, I bet I could throw you a better party than you could throw me. And he was like, challenge accepted. And so what we did was I threw his birthday party and he threw my birthday party. And it was like a challenge to see who could throw. And it was like ridiculous. It was like a really crappy, like stretch limo that like had tons of booze. And then we got wasted. And then we went to a go-kart place and got kicked out of the go-kart place because we were it was exactly what you'd expect. But it was like a blast. It was super fun. And then mine was very similar to that. You know what I mean? So, but it was literally like, let's figure out how to have the best time possible And then
Yeah.
just like and like I'm just a part of it sort of thing, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, it does. And I think about it. I'm like, now I'm thinking about like past birthdays. I'm like, and mine are always about like, there's always like a theme or something. We're always dressing up.
That's
And it's
great.
like you're taking
Yeah.
it away from yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's disco, it's whatever it may be. And like maybe you need like partyful like starter pack. I don't know. Something that just like prompts that like missions, whatever it may be, that like help people get started for different things that they
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah.
Right. If like
Oh, that's
creativity
interesting.
right? If like if just getting started or thinking like what a dress up in the park at a scavenger hunt, that's so cool. I would never have thought of that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I
You
think
bring up a-
Partyful might have a role to play in it.
Bring back
you
the
bring up a
party
really
planner.
interesting. Yeah, exactly. Like the idea of like, are we birthday stuck as a culture?
Yeah.
Like, is
Yeah.
it like a thing that needs to be more of a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, no, I love that. Like in a weird way, like to make your
Birthday
birthday
stuff.
less of a personal thing, make the party more of a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like take the pressure off yourself and
yeah.
put the pressure on like having a good fucking time. And also like stupidity, right? Like
Yes.
I think when I think about like getting older too, like part of the reason why kids' birthday parties are more fun is because you're just like I don't know. There's like a clown that shows up, and there's a bouncy house,
Yeah.
and there's like weird fucking snacks. And then we get older, and we're like, let's all go to this like nice dinner, and we'll get like a nice cocktail,
Yeah.
and like no one's having a good time. Like
No.
bring back the like
No.
the ridiculousness, you know, like
Yeah.
bring back the
Yes.
the play.
Yeah. Bring
I
back the
agree.
play, bring back the joy.
Yeah,
Back to
the
your
box.
question,
Yeah, just
Simon.
like have a good time.
Yeah. Well, this gets really interesting here because I think like when we start like, let me ask this, like, is there a birthday talk? Like, is there like a subculture on social media that's like, you want to throw the most ridiculous birthdays? Here's the most ridiculous birthdays or something like that. Cause like there is
Oh,
something
yeah.
very interesting. And I find a lot of, frankly, like I find a lot of events that are too professional, I almost start to notice the polish a little too much, and it kills the authenticity to me. And
Yeah.
the joy of a birthday is like like Biz, to your point, like it's kind of a place where you have license for it to be a little janky, but as we
Yeah.
get older, we kind of start to kind of polish things a little too much. Like, oh, for my so and so birthday, I rented out the back room of this place, and it's like, no. Let's
Yeah.
do like let's get a taco stand, let's get a bouncy house, and then like I filled this watermelon with vodka, and let's figure out how to eat it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like you
Yeah.
still have that opportunity with birthdays, I feel.
Yeah.
Totally.
People love an activity too. You know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
like some of the best like parties I've had at my house have been like around like they've started with something dumb that like we're all doing, and it feels like weird and like I don't know, like people are like like we have to make pasta, and I'm like, we're gonna get drunk and make pasta. It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah.
Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yes.
and like
Yeah.
I think people need to like something to do with their hands and like a reason
Yes.
and a role for being there, and then they like let go, you know? But like
Yeah.
so I love the idea of like an activity too. Just like stupid activities. Like to your point, Simon, like like we got to figure out how to eat this vodka watermelon. like first person, yeah. It's just stupid, you know? Or like I had a friend that had a like drunk kickball birthday, and that was really fun.
Oh, that's
'Cause it was like-
Amazing.
Like we
Amazing.
first we got drunk, and then we played kickball, and that was really fun.
That's awesome.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so curious if there is like a birthday talk, because I would bet that any of the like anything that we're talking about probably doesn't exist in like just one sort of channel right now, because all of it's so still like going back to the start of our conversation, probably so performative. Like it's still so
Yeah.
performative on like,
Yeah.
oh, I went to this bar, I went to this dinner and had this drink and whatnot. Like maybe it
Yeah.
belongs in a Substack. And it's just like a
Yeah.
list of all like the wacky shit that we're doing for our birthdays this year.
Yeah.
Well,
Something.
Well, what we're talking about also does that I think is kind of important, going back to something we talked about earlier, is it removes the shame of asking for people to celebrate you. You
Yeah.
know what I
Right.
mean? I think like if
Yes.
you say like, hey, look, we're going to, I'm going to pull up a truck. It's going to have a keg of beer in it. We're going to do keg stands, and then we're going to play a game of soccer. Like, everyone's like, well, all right. You know what I
Let's
mean?
go.
Like,
Yeah.
that has very little to do specifically with like fawning over you. That's just, it sounds cool and something I don't get to do every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'm like, whose birthday's next? Simon, Biz, let's go.
Now I want to throw
Let's
a bar
go.
party. Yeah.
We're throwing a party.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
psyched.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I
else
think
is, sorry, go ahead, Biz.
I was just gonna double down on like I think people need to be told what to do too. Like instead of like thinking about like what gift you bring people, it's like don't bring me a gift. Bring this thing to contribute to that
yeah.
activity. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if we're playing keg soccer, like it's my birthday, I got the keg, but like I need you to bring a soccer ball, and like I need you to bring like snacks, and I need you to bring this, and like because I do think people want to contribute, but it's like the pressure feeling is when like I don't know, I just think people like being told what to do, and like the more you can give people a role is helpful too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And just a role to like, and a role to play too. Just like, we're playing this game, and or this is the theme. And this is, so just something to, this is what we're all dressing up as, right?
Yeah.
Not just showing up as yourself and the energy then that you're bringing to that day. That in itself is sort of a gift.
Yeah. Because also it's always the sentiment that you appreciate more of like people showing like, like, you know, it's like, do I want the candle from my friend? Like, not really, but like, I appreciate that they thought of me to bring the candle. And it's like, okay, I'd rather like that energy be shifted into something else. Like, the gift is contributing to the play, not just like a weird artifact that you thought of me that like, do you know what I mean? Like the gifts.
Totally.
It's like, thank you for the shirt. But like, thank you for thinking of me, you know? And like
thank you for showing
rechanneling
up.
that energy, I think is good too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How do we get people to start thinking about their birthday this way? Maybe not even this way, but how do we get people to start realizing your birthday is an opportunity for a really good time?
Brands. Brand kits. Miller Lite keg kit, you know what I mean? Like
Oh, interesting.
I think this is where I think people sort of like need to lead by example. It's going to take like who are sort of the influential. We talk about it like the influential core. Who are the influential? Who are the people that others look to?
Yeah.
And sort of like who's that person that someone's going to see on TikTok or wherever and be like, that's fucking cool. Like Simon did what for his birthday? I want to do that. And sort of build from the center outward. I think that it's going to have to start with people, and then brands, partyful like objects as sort of the enablers to help make it more realistic for people.
Yeah.
It's interesting because again, like when I don't, admittedly, I'm not in circles of social media. My social media algorithms don't include a lot of conversation around celebration, frankly. But what I do see tends to be like very showy and very like, don't you wish you were a part of this sort of thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like it's not what's it called? What's the word? It's not as like, oh my God, authentic. I want to dive into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not something that you want to be part of, really. But again, that's where I think it has to start with, people sort of just lead by example.
Okay. So then if that's the case, here's a question for you. You brought it up very quickly, Biz. Has any brand ever tried to own birthdays? And I mean, like, obviously, like put aside like Party City, but like the brands of like, the brands that are more like, the alcohol companies, the snack companies, that sort of thing. Has any brand really tried to own a birthday? Because that feels like when you said like the birthday party keg, I'm like, I'm intrigued by that. There's something very interesting about that idea to me.
Yeah. I don't think so. That's kind of an interesting like thought. I feel like it's become like maybe a comms task, right? Where like brands will like hit you up on your birthday with like a
Yeah.
discount code, but like
Yeah.
it's kind of
It feels
interesting.
secondary.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to think about like again, it's a holiday that every single person on the planet celebrates. And yet like there isn't like a I don't know why haven't brands jumped on that more, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of an interesting like I guess because we've made it too personalized and what we're talking about is making it more
I agree.
objective. And if you make it
Yeah.
more objective and it's less about like what this person wants and it's more like here are just like gifts or objects to contribute to like a type of party, I think that's interesting.
Yeah. I feel like birthdays have just become like a moment on a brand's massive moment map. And you're not really
Yeah.
right. It's like one of the moments it's the micro moment that you build
Yeah.
to. But no one's really approaching them like intentionally or
Yeah.
Yeah.
building something around a birthday. I think actually the one brand who I never heard about before this was Swan Beauty. Swan
Mm.
Beauty with Acquired Styles Bachelorette. So that wasn't a birthday, but Swan Beauty basically hosted Acquired's Bachelorette party. And it was like everywhere. So Swan
It's
Beauty
cool.
got Acquired a yacht. Acquired brought like all of her friends, like Kit, a few other like well-known creators, and just like took them out, and
Yeah.
that put Swan on the map, you know. But but they were
Hmm.
they created it. It was less of like giving Acquired gifting. It wasn't just
Yeah.
pure gifting. I think too often brands will default to gifting around a birthday, but again, it's like putting
Yeah.
that person at the center and like you're give it like right, it's sort of
Yeah.
everything that we were just talking to versus building and like an experience, like enabling like creating something that them and like those that they love can sort of experience together that's bigger than
Yeah.
that person. And that's what Swan Beauty, I think, did really well, even though at first they got like a ton of backlash for it with Acquired
Mm.
Bachelorette. But you could just
Mm.
easily do that for someone's birthday, just as, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like there's something interesting around like there's a lot of brands right now trying to like sell community because it's obviously like a hole that culturally I think a lot of people are feeling right now. But it is interesting to think about like basically what you're selling is like friendship and what are the like reverse
Yeah.
what are the reverse artifacts to like sell friendship through a product.
yeah.
Because I don't know if people know how to be
Yeah.
friends anymore. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, man.
Like-
oh, man.
like
Well,
I don't
keep
know.
talking
Another
about that. What makes you
topic.
what makes you think? Keep talking about that for a second, though. What do you mean? Give me some juice. Give me some meat.
Well, I mean, I think it's like the cliches like that we always talk about. Like, you know, we talked about like social media. I mean, it's you know, it's we're all so connected, but disconnected, wherever that like horrible insight is. But I don't know. I mean, I think there's just like there's less other cultural cues around life phase that are consistent that normally keep people in tighter circles and friendships, right? So like not as many people are like getting married and having kids all at the same time in their friend group, and that's becoming like the thing that
Right,
you move
yeah.
through life together with, right? Or
Yeah.
like no longer are we like there's way more like transplants out in the world, right? So like sort of the core of community is more fragmented than it used to be.
Yeah.
Like, and I think those are all things that we know, but like I think it contributes to this like you have less of like a core of people that you're consistently friends with and see often for decades that would like be more of the person that would plan
Yeah.
a party for you. Do you know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
speaking in very general terms, but like I do think that like there's that happening, and then I think truly because of social media, like people just aren't like friendship has become like a weird like display of affection opposed to like an actual
Bond.
an actual bond. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's
Yeah.
like that's kind of interesting. Like it's like how do you reverse sell the bond? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
Well, like, I mean, to your point, and this is an interesting different way in on it too, which I want to talk about, which is like, I think we found one way in, which is how do you almost pull it away from the personal and just make it a celebration that everyone can kind of celebrate to make it less
yeah.
on you? But as we were talking and as what you just said, you brought up a good point, which is like, that works for me. And that probably solves the problem I have with birthdays, which is I'm very sort of like probably a little too proud to admit I want to have people celebrate my thing. And
Yeah.
this is a great solution for it. But I think there's just some people who are a lot more comfortable with like, no, 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 no. I want this to be about me. And
Yeah.
I think it should be about me. And I think I want to celebrate my connection to the people I love on my birthday.
Mhm.
And that's that like the solution we provided to them, they'd be like, that's not the point. You know what I mean? That's not the point of doing this. The point of doing this is kind of meant to maybe be a little more intimate, a little more personal, which is
Mhm.
also very kind of important and wonderful. And I don't know how to solve for that one.
Well, you like Hallmark cards are an example of like I think they're really interesting. Like they gave people a voice to like an artifact of connection for people that couldn't write or like didn't have that creativity. Now they're obviously just like, I mean, they're everywhere and they're stupid, but like as an artifact of like something to give someone that had meaning in it, like I don't know. That became like a whole ritual. You know, you would get the card, you would
Yeah.
put it on your fridge. Like I feel like there could be more things like that. The
Yeah.
physicality of things is important. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Like just the act of going out of your way for someone
yeah,
on their birthday. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, it's funny. It almost moved from like sending someone a card to a physical display of affection on someone's birthday to then like a digital display to you've posted an Instagram to a story of just a
yeah,
collage of pictures of you and that person to like what's next.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah.
Maria, let me ask you
I do a
this,
Yeah.
which
thing
is,
for all
oh,
of
sorry, go
my.
ahead, Biz. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just to tell you guys how good of a friend I am. No, I I do this thing on like all of my close friends' birthday. I just send them like images that I've been curating. This is like I'm so a child of the internet. Curated images of like their vibe for the last year, and I send them to them, and it's like a mood board of like everything that reminds me of them. And it's not like for
Oh,
social
that's
media at
lovely.
all. Like I
I
just
love
text
that.
them, but like I think there's ways where like, not all of the internet is bad. It's just sometimes when we use it performatively that it becomes bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Um,
totally agree.
but like
Yeah.
I do think there's like I don't know, there's we overthink things, you know? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you can like we all know how to just like be kind and connect with people, and yet we like overthink it, I think.
Yeah, you think you sort of need to build something. Like, honestly, and I think to a lot of people, this could sound incredibly cringe, but something my friends and I do for all of our birthdays, like when we're together, whoever's birthday it is, we will like just literally go around in a circle and everyone says one thing that they really love about that person. And for
Yeah.
that person, it's deeply uncomfortable. They hate it in the moment. But when I like, we don't just sit around in a room and tell each other like why we love each other, and we should
Yeah.
more often, but it's an excuse to, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
And it's
I
painful in
love
the
that.
moment, but it's special. And that's just
Totally.
something
Yeah.
we always do. And so there's like
I
little
love that.
rituals you build for yourself.
I think that's
Yeah.
really
But someone else
interesting.
has
And
to
like
instigate
I
that.
was gonna ask, like, Biz,
Yeah.
when was the last time that someone did something for you on your birthday that like was really touching?
I mean, I feel like I I feel like it happens every year in some way. You know what I mean? Like I don't like
Yeah.
it's like yeah, there's always something, there's always some thoughtfulness or like but I think that you have to be open to that. And I think maybe some of the pressure that people feel to have the
Yeah.
best birthday closes them off from realizing how much people actually showed up in their life. Does that make sense? Like
It does.
when you're putting so much pressure on the birthday to be perfect and big and to feel like, you know, you're so hyper village, like you're watching to see if people love you, and then if you miss all the touch points that where people are showing you that they love you. But it's in the small stuff, right? It's like friends that brought over, you know, brownies they made for me. It's like, it's even like people who call you like 3 days later and they're like, oh my God, I fucking forgot it was your birthday, but like I just remembered. It's like all these things, you know? And then and then it's the people that show up and like fucking party, and that's awesome. It's everybody. But yeah, I do think that like that's a weird thing that we do too, where people are trying to connect with us all the time, and sometimes we're so concerned with our own validation that we miss the connection. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, it does. Because it is like, even just Simon, you asking Biz that, I'm thinking back to past birthdays, and it's just these like little acts that someone, you know, something that a friend, a family member, my husband did on my birthday. But I'm like, there's not, you know, they're not necessarily like out of the norm, right? Like doing like just a small, like going to grab something for you or like saying something to you. And I'm like, but you appreciate it more in that moment. You just, on that day, you're just too in your own way to appreciate those small acts, you know, like every other day of the year, which is really unfortunate.
Well, you bring up an interesting sort of duality of birthdays, which is like your radar is way more up on your birthday to both the positive and the negative. You know what I mean? Which is like
so
if
true.
you and it's also why so many people, like I remember in my 20s, distinctly remember in my 20s always being disappointed on my birthday. And it was totally my fault. It was this totally my fault of like, well, I'm too cool for my birthday. I don't want anyone to know about my birthday, but I kind of want people to do something despite having no signal or cue that I want them to do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Too cool for school. You did it to yourself.
I did it to myself.
You did it to yourself.
I think that like corporate America should give people their birthday off as a free day from work. If your birthday lands on a work day, you should get it off. And I think things like that are like interesting to like contributing to people making a deal out of it and actually celebrating their birthday. But I guess it would have to work where like, do you also get a pass? Maybe you get like 3 passes a year from corporate America of like, you also get off if it's your friend's birthday or like your partner's birthday or one other. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's kind of interesting to like, they should be added vacation days. I think it's the birthday. It's the birthday tax. It's the birthday tax, right?
A birthday for every dependent.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. A
Like
day off for every dependent.
It's a holiday. It's a tradition. It matters. You know what I mean? Because I also think sometimes there's like it's like if your birthday falls on like a Tuesday, like getting people out on Tuesday night, you know what I mean, is tough or whatever. And then you're celebrating it on the weekend, and then it feels weird because it's like it doesn't even matter anymore. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just always looking for more days off of work, but
hey, I'll stand behind that, bitch. I can't tell you how many times my birthday is like the first Monday back after the long holiday, and it's awful. Yeah.
Maria, do you struggle with getting people out? Do you struggle with getting people out for your birthday? Because I imagine after New Year's, like I know I'm often quite partied out.
Yeah. Yes and no, I don't know. I think it's also like, it's just, I don't know. It's close enough to New Year's. If it was 1 week, if it was 1 week further out, then yes. But it's close enough to New Year's that people are still kind of like, fuck it. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's just keep going. So far, no. But
I could see that
could
helping with
change.
like New Year scaries. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
There's
you're not
that
fully ready.
moment right around New Year's where you're like, oh God, like the holiday
Yeah.
break is
Yeah.
over, all the fun is over, and
Yeah.
now I have to like start the year. So I could see that
Right.
like being like I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
Like
like,
exactly.
push it off a little bit more.
yeah, it's
Yeah, like,
postponing that
this
by a
could
week.
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
And again,
I
there's
like
always
that.
a theme, always a theme. You gotta have an activity, a theme or an
Mhm.
activity.
See, you
But anyways.
seem, Maria, you seem specifically quite good at throwing your own birthday.
I've never wanted that badge, but I guess. Damn. I didn't know
What
this would go
a
here, but I guess so.
I meant that as
yeah.
a compliment.
See again. Well, then no, we're where we've taken this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess again, always a theme, always an activity. It's never been, But I think it's also it's just always been the case. It's just an excuse. So yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Simon. Now I'm getting
Yeah.
weird about it. Thanks, Simon.
No,
Now
you
the
shouldn't. You
shame,
shouldn't, because
yeah.
like where I'm going with it a little bit is like birthday talk is an exaggeration, but there's something interesting about the fact that like there are stores dedicated to Christmas time. There is massive content around.
Yeah.
Look how awesome this themed Christmas thing was. This fucking even Thanksgiving in this country. Like, look how big the Thanksgiving thing was. Look at like there's all these sort of like things around things that are made to be bigger things, but it's kind of weird with birthdays how there isn't that same culture around it. Do you know what I mean? And like Biz, your kind of your idea of
Yeah.
make it a day off sort of thing is like the more at first I was like, that's crazy. And I'm like, no, that makes a ton of sense. Cause it's basically saying
Yeah.
we value your birthday at the same level as some of these other days, which is a completely rational thought in my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna be stuff like this is so tough in American culture just because it is such an individualistic culture. Like I think
Yeah.
like when you look at more like cultures that are based off of collectivism, the things, even when they're celebrating someone, it's celebrating, it's more communal, right? Like through celebrating someone, you're actually celebrating the community, and it's a different sort of cultural like mirror and approach. I think part of what makes it so tough in the US is we're so self-centric in the way that we operate and the way that we think. And like I'm not saying that in like a stereotypical egotistical way. I mean more just like the psychology of like community here is so different. And it's like we just don't know how to pull it apart from ourselves. But like more ways that you can try to do that I think are really helpful, like giving everyone a day off, But we would just, I don't know, I'm just being cynical now, but I feel like we would just then turn it into like we would add it to its own weird pressure about like ourselves, you know what I mean? Instead of like, this is a day off that like my friends have off too and we all get to party together, Yeah.
So you're reversing and saying don't have that day off.
Yeah, now I'm
we'll
like,
still have the
this
day
is
off.
all fucked.
I like this.
I'm off this podcast. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. No. I'm just thinking through all of it. I mean, it's just, yeah. But I do think like trying to just force people to have fun and celebrate and be with other people and like like a lot of what we're talking about is presence too, like more activities and rituals that allow people to just be present in that moment I think are really helpful. Because I think there's a thing that happens on your birthday where you're always sort of like foreshadowing or thinking about like how you're going to feel or how it's going to be perceived or is it enough versus like, okay, right now in this moment, I have 2 beers in my hand and 4 people that I love. Like, let's just fucking hang out, But activities are really good at keeping people present. So I'm big on like an activity. I keep going back to that. I like that a lot. Or
and
a
forced
theme
activities,
or like whatever.
Yeah, forced activities and stuff like that too. Like I'm the ultimate like person of like something's on my calendar and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And then once I'm doing it, I'm like, I'm really glad I'm doing this. You know what I
Totally.
mean?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
and
You
it's
need the
like,
push.
it's one of the, Yeah, and it's like one of the best ways to get me to go and do something, especially things I don't typically do, which
Yeah.
birthdays feel like a massive opportunity for that as well.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
good thing. Birthdays are a
Yeah.
good thing, and
Yeah.
we're not fully capitalizing on it right now, which is
No.
weird when you think about it, because we're so
No.
desperate. I mean, it's a cliche, but it's like we're so desperate for these things of like, where are opportunities more to connect? And it's like, oh, this is a great one we're just ignoring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if we need like, do we need like a birthday media property? Do we need like a, like if we, you know, like a birthday-ish, someone
Yeah.
to like one source of inspiration, someone to just like normalize celebration culturally,
Mm-hmm.
to help normalize
Yep.
celebration culturally.
Yeah.
Who's the
And,
right
like,
person for it?
Is it connected to Vox? Is it connected to, I don't know. I think that you need some like, I think having one sort of voice, or like having some editorial oversight, is important. And that's why I say, do we need a birthday media property, so that you don't get like the sort of the, I don't know, like the performative nature of like celebration that we've been talking about, like the look at me, look at what I'm doing for my birthday. Like, you just need sort of some like guardrails around how we're talking about celebration here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird
Is
way
there
of
an
saying
opportunity to be
it,
a birthday
but-
influencer or birthday like is to your point, like this is very interesting to me now, which is like if you were to say like on paper, you're like, there's this thing that everyone has in common, the whole world
Yeah.
has in common, that no one is talking about. There's people over here talking about Christmas. There's people over here talking about Wisconsin. There's people over here talking about sports. But there's one thing that everyone has in common, and
Yeah.
it's birthdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one is talking about birthdays.
Yes.
That's very
Yes.
interesting. That's a very
Yeah.
interesting proposition.
Totally. We ought to need like one birthday influencer, or like birthday media property. That is such a void. And everyone has birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
If there was like
Why
even
doesn't it
just one thing
exist?
on my feed that was literally like, hey, check out this crazy birthday. Then the next day it's like, check out this crazy birthday. Like, I'd subscribe to that. I'd watch
yeah,
that.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
know what?
Absolutely.
You know what I
Let's
just
do
thought
it.
of is
Can we do this?
I mean, do we have a new business?
Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's. All right. Call Jesse and Roman. We're starting this. Let's go.
do you guys remember MTV like Sweet 16?
Yes. Of
Yes.
course.
Of course, right?
Oh.
Like I feel like there needs
Yeah.
to be like more
Oh my
more
god.
milestone birthdays would help too. And like how do you turn that
Yeah.
into like a whole fucking thing? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Sweet
Yeah.
16, like what about like the 40th birthday? Making that like that should be
Yeah.
that should be like the Hangover movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I feel like there needs to be more like aspirational content around
Yeah.
what these birthday milestones can be, because they, to the point earlier, like the older you get, the more those disappear too, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
MTV Sweet 40 or something. Bring it back.
Sweet 40, yeah.
Sweet 40. Need a better ring to
I
it.
think-
but
I think that what's interesting too is that like it's weird. Now that we're talking about this, I'm like, it's weird this topic hasn't been mined yet.
Yeah.
Because like
yeah.
everyone likes parties, and like this is like the joy of parties with like Pinterest sort of like inspiration fodder. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Which is like, okay, like, because you to the point, I think the problem I have with a lot of like content online about this stuff is like it's more about like spectacle rather than like, look at this crazy thing that they did. Like,
Yeah.
look at this crazy
there's-
thing that they did is a lot more fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, sorry, there's a great commercial opportunity. People
Yeah,
spend money for their birthdays.
Totally.
You
Yeah.
could so easily monetize this.
Yeah.
Like, why is no one doing this?
I think that Party City
is
needs
very
to come
interesting.
back, but in a new definition of Party City. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I agree.
Which is
Yes.
like, to your point, Maria, like all of the spending power of birthdays right now is happening in like individual gifts. But like
Yeah.
the spending power of birthdays should be around like the activity or the ritual, and like you need like
Yes.
one place to go to buy those things, you know? Like you should be able to walk in and like, or online, and it's a curated set of like, if you buy this beer, you're gonna need this thing, and then like this party hat and this piñata. But if you buy this wine, it's gonna be a different piñata with like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well,
I feel like you should be able to buy for the occasion, and there's not really like anything like that, I don't think, from like a party standpoint right now. You know what I mean? Like there's Pinterest inspiration to your point, but there's not like a place you can go to be like, I'm buying this themed thing. There used to be that with Party City. It was kind of cheap, but you know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
Party City could also be the media property. Do you know what I mean? Like if the whole idea was like, we're going to create a media property that is essentially just the celebration of birthdays, and we're going to call this channel Birthday Party City. And it's literally just like, it's going to be parties that people want to be at, cool ideas, the craziest things we're seeing in birthday culture. And then also there's going to be link outs to like where you could get the exact thing that you need to throw out this kind of party. Suddenly you make it very easy for people to do something that seems fun and engaging with their friends.
Totally.
Dude, I want
party kids.
Party City needs to come back. Party City is a sick name. It's a sick idea.
It's
like,
a great name.
What? Like,
it's connected. It's combined with Staples now. It's very sad. It's like a little corner of Staples.
Which is
like,
feel
there's
like
nothing less party than Staples. It's business supplies.
I don't know. I love
that.
Staples.
Is the most horrific like representation of where we are in culture right now. We're all like lonely, don't know how to have friends, and Party City is now in a Staples. Like, what is happening? Like, we are not okay. Like, bring Party City back. Party City is I'm like all about Party City now. It's a sick name. It's a sick idea. It's a sick
great
logo.
Name.
Yeah. But to your point,
that's the answer.
If it's a media property, you could put anything before party. Birthday Party City. Christmas
New Year's
Party City.
New Year's
Christmas Party City. Yeah, like, exactly.
That's sick. Yeah.
I really like this idea. I'm getting very excited about building sort of like a media property around the idea of birthdays and owning birthdays, and then using that as a bridge to starting to, like, to your point, Marina, like, it is so easy to monetize this. You know what I mean? Which is like, do you like this thing? Here's where to buy the pack to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
Oh my God.
I think we've cracked it. I don't know.
we got 2 minutes left. Is there anything either of you want to say before any last thoughts, any last kind of observations on the ideas of birthdays?
I mean, we got to do it. Next birthday in our group, we're throwing a party. We're doing something. We got to stand behind this.
I like it. We got to start buying into our own beliefs here.
We really do. We really do. Let's lead by example.
I like it.
Buy into our own belief. We're going to make this happen.
I like it. We got a little time left, so I'll do a quick recap. We talked about a lot of things, and I think a few that I'm going to kind of cover is we discussed kind of the embarrassment and the difficulty of letting other people see you. There's a real shame in this culture about kind of being honest and open about wanting sort of affection. We talked a lot about maybe a solution would make it more of an objective ritual and holiday rather than making it as much about yourself. And then we talked about, are we a little bit birthday stuck? Are we just sort of like, no one has any interesting ideas, which all kind of bridge into a conversation we have later on, which is interesting looking back at it now. We talked about birthday talk and about sort of like how there isn't that opportunity right now. We talked about have any brand ever tried to own a birthday. And then we kind of flipped over to this idea of how do we make it more personal? How do we make people feel like they are appreciated, they are validated, because not everyone's going to want to just simply throw a party for themselves. They're going to want to get more out of it, and kind of the importance of how it should feel, which led to this really interesting thought of what if corporate America gave birthdays off? What if we showed the ultimate sort of like lead by example? This is an important day and we're going to treat it as such. And then I think the big unlock came when we started talking about the birthday media property, sort of a source of inspiration, a place that allowed us to really celebrate the culture of birthday and then connect it to Party. We're going to buy Party City and we're going to connect it to Party City and we're going to create sort of sub channels that even go beyond birthday, but start with birthday Party City as our first one. And from there, build a birthday media empire, monetize it, and take over the world. Maria, with that in mind, did we crack it?
I think we absolutely cracked it. We cracked it. We're bringing birthdays back. Birthdays are better than ever.
Birthdays back. Biz, did we crack it?
Yeah, fuck it. We cracked it. Yeah, Party City. Let's do it. Yeah. I believe in it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to say we cracked it too. I'm going to say we cracked it too. That's 3 for 3. We did this. This is big. This is a big deal for us. This is absolutely fantastic. Jesse and Roman are going to be, they're listening to this right now. I'm very curious what they're thinking. It's going to be great.
They're going to say we didn't crack it.
Heads at us. Yeah.
No, birthday media empire is real. The birthday media, I want one day to be like, thanks, big birthday. Like people kind of like blaming us for making birthdays so great again. But with all of that said, thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time on another episode of Crack It in an Hour. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Crack It in an Hour. If you like the show, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. If you have questions, thoughts, or feedback, shoot us an email at hello@crackitpodcast.com or on Instagram @crackitpodcast. Music done by Michael Anastasi, cover art shot by Mick Mint, and all things audio and video taken care of by Nathan Nash. See you next time.